Imagine standing at the edge of the unknown, places where ships vanish without a trace, where giant stone heads stare across the ocean for centuries, and where the very laws of nature seem to break down. Welcome back to the channel, explorers. I'm your host, and today we're counting down the top most mysterious places on planet Earth. Locations so incredible, so baffling, that scientists, historians, and adventurers are still trying to unlock their secrets. From legendary disappearances to ancient engineering that defies explanation, these are not just tourist spots. These are portals into the unexplained. Let's begin our journey, starting with number 1. The Bermuda Triangle, the ocean that swallows souls. Picture this: you're captaining a ship in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean, between Miami, Bermuda, and Puerto Rico. The sky is clear, your instruments are working perfectly, and then, without warning, your compass spins wildly. The radio goes dead, and then, nothing. You and your entire crew simply cease to exist. No wreckage, no distress call, just gone. This is the legend of the Bermuda Triangle, also called the Devil's Triangle, a loosely defined 500,000 square mile patch of ocean that has terrified sailors and pilots for over a century. The mystery exploded into public consciousness in 1945 with Flight 19. 5 U.S. Navy torpedo bombers on a routine training mission that vanished without a trace. The lead pilot's final radio transmission? Everything looks strange, even the ocean. A massive search plane sent to find them also disappeared. In total, over 50 ships and 20 aircraft are said to have vanished in the area, taking hundreds of lives with them. But the legends go back much further. Christopher Columbus himself wrote in his logs about strange compass readings and a great flame of fire falling into the sea while sailing through these waters in 1592. Theories range from the scientific to the supernatural. Rogue waves and sudden violent storms. Methane gas bubbles rising from the seafloor that could sink ships instantly. Magnetic anomalies that confuse instruments. Time portals, alien abductions, or even the lost city of Atlantis resting beneath the waves, as famously suggested by author Charles Berlitz in the 1970s. Yet official investigations by the U.S. Coast Guard and Lloyd's of London say there's nothing statistically unusual about the area compared to other busy shipping lanes. So why does the legend persist? Because some disappearances, like the USS Cyclops in 1918 with 306 crew members, still have zero explanation. No wreckage was ever found. The Bermuda Triangle remains the ultimate symbol of the ocean's power to keep its secrets. One thing is certain: sailors still feel a chill when they cross these waters. But if the sea can hide its mysteries so well, just wait until we travel to ancient lands where stone itself refuses to reveal its secrets. Stonehenge, the stone circle that defies time. Now we journey to the windswept Salisbury Plain in England, where for over 5,000 years, massive stones have stood in perfect formation. A monument so ancient that even the people who built it left no written records. Stonehenge began around 3100 BC as a simple circular ditch and bank. Over the next 1500 years, it evolved into the iconic stone circle we know today. The largest sarsen stones weigh up to 50 tons and were brought from 20 miles away. Even more astonishing, the smaller blue stones traveled all the way from the Preseli Hills in Wales, a distance of over 140 miles. How did Neolithic people move these colossal stones without wheels, cranes, or modern technology? That question has puzzled archaeologists for centuries. Recent experiments suggest they may have used sledges, rollers, and even walking the stones upright with ropes. But the precision of the final arrangement still amazes us. The stones are aligned with the solstices. On the summer solstice, the sun rises directly over the heel stone. Was Stonehenge an ancient astronomical calendar, a healing temple, a burial ground for elites, or something far more spiritual, a place where the living communed with ancestors? Legends claim the wizard Merlin magically transported the stones from Ireland. Others whisper of druid rituals, or even extraterrestrial help. Modern science tells us it was built in phases by different groups of ancient Britons, and recent discoveries show it was part of a much larger ceremonial landscape, with hundreds of burial mounds nearby. Yet the biggest mystery remains: why? What drove these people to invest generations of labor into moving stones across vast distances? Today, over 1 million visitors a year come to witness the stones at sunrise or during solstice celebrations. Standing among them, you can almost feel the weight of thousands of years of human wonder. From ancient Britain, we now travel to the deserts of South America, where an entire civilization drew pictures so large they can only be seen from the sky. Three, the Nazca lines, messages written for the gods or aliens. High in the arid Peruvian desert lies one of the greatest artistic mysteries ever created. Stretching across 500 square kilometers are the Nazca lines, hundreds of perfect geometric shapes, straight lines stretching for miles, and enormous animal figures including a spider, monkey, hummingbird, and even a killer whale. Created between 500 BC and 500 AD by the Nazca people, these geoglyphs were made by removing the dark surface pebbles to reveal the lighter soil beneath. The designs are so precise and so huge that many can only be fully appreciated from the air. How did an ancient desert civilization create something visible only from the sky? German mathematician Maria Reich spent decades studying them and believed they were an enormous astronomical calendar. Other theories suggest they were pathways for religious processions or even giant irrigation maps. Then came the wilder ideas. In the 1960s, Erich von Däniken proposed in Chariots of the Gods that the lines were landing strips for ancient astronauts. While most scientists reject this, the sheer scale continues to fuel speculation. Recent research suggests many lines lead to ancient ceremonial sites where people prayed for water in this incredibly dry region. The Nazca people were masters of surviving in the desert, yet their greatest creation remains one of archaeology's greatest puzzles. Standing on the ground, the lines look like random scratches. From a small plane or the viewing tower, they take your breath away. Now we cross the Pacific to one of the most isolated places on Earth, where giant stone faces have watched the horizon for centuries. Four, Easter Island and the Moai, the silent guardians of Rapa Nui. More than 2,000 miles from the nearest inhabited land lies Easter Island, Rapa Nui, a tiny speck in the Pacific that somehow became home to one of humanity's most astonishing achievements. Between 1250 and 1500 AD, the Rapa Nui people carved nearly 1,000 colossal stone statues called moai from volcanic tuff. Some stand over 30 feet tall and weigh up to 80 tons. Many have elongated heads and solemn faces gazing inland, watching over their clans. The mystery: how did they move these giants across the island without wheels or draft animals? For decades, scientists debated whether they were dragged on wooden sleds, which would have required felling the island's forests, or walked upright, using ropes in a rocking motion, a method recently proven possible in experiments. The moai were not just statues. To the Rapa Nui, they represented deified ancestors, living faces watching over the living. Many once stood on stone platforms, ahu, with eyes made of white coral and red scoria. But then something went terribly wrong. By the time Europeans arrived in 1722, many moai had been toppled. The island's forests had disappeared, and the population had crashed. Was it ecological collapse? Rat infestation destroying palm trees? Or internal warfare? Today, many moai have been re-erected, and the island is a UNESCO World Heritage Site. Yet the haunting question remains: what happened to the people who created these incredible monuments? From remote Pacific islands, we now enter the land of the pharaohs, where the greatest architectural mystery of all still stands. The Great Pyramid of Giza, the last wonder standing. Rising from the Egyptian desert like a perfect geometric mountain, the Great Pyramid of Giza is the only surviving wonder of the ancient world, and it still refuses to give up all its secrets. Built around 2580 to 2560 BC for Pharaoh Khufu, it was constructed with an estimated 2.3 million stone blocks, weighing between 2 and 80 tons each. The base is almost perfectly square, and the sides align almost exactly to the cardinal points. The precision is so great that the error is less than 0.05%. How was it built in just 20 years with Bronze Age technology? The internal structure is even more mind-blowing. The King's Chamber, Queen's Chamber, and the mysterious relieving chambers above. The Grand Gallery is an engineering masterpiece, and recently, new voids and chambers have been discovered using cosmic ray muon scanning, proving the pyramid still has secrets hidden inside. Theories range from massive straight ramps to internal spiral ramps, counterweight systems, and even, of course, alien assistance. The purpose seems clear, a tomb, but some researchers believe it may have had additional astronomical or energetic functions. After 4,500 years, the Great Pyramid continues to humble modern engineers. It is the ultimate testament to what ancient humans could achieve. Now we leave the ancient world behind and enter the modern era of secrecy and conspiracy. Which of these places would you most like to visit? Or which mystery do you think has the most plausible explanation? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. I read every single one. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the unknown, smash that like button, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you never miss our next adventure into history's greatest enigmas. Until next time, keep exploring, stay curious, and remember, the world is stranger than we can ever imagine.